everybody. Welcome back to the Skookum Report. I hope everybody's doing well, and I know I am. I just had 2 pieces of cookies and cream pie, so bear with me. I'm going to try and do this today. I'm just kidding. Today's stuff is about bears and Bigfoot, and I have a news article, a couple stories, and then I have a hunter's viewpoint on vanishing Bigfoot, how they just disappear into thin air, and that's just his opinion, but I'm going to read that, and that was the email, and let's see, let's start with Killers of Bear. Again, this is Bobbie Short's material that was sent to me by her friends and family, and I just want to thank them so much. I really appreciate it, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to share Bobbie's stuff that she worked so hard on. And if you hear some paper crumpling, that's just, I printed this stuff out because it's a lot easier to read than trying to read like an email off my cell phone. So, but I'll try and keep it down. Okay, Killers of Bear. Now, this is the article from the London Times, dated January 4th, 1784. And it says, there is lately arrived in France from North America a wild man who was caught in the woods 200 miles back from the Lake of the Woods by a party of Indians. They had seen him several times, but he was so swift of foot that they could by no means catch up with him. He is nearly 7 feet tall, covered with hair, but has little appearance of understanding and is remarkably sullen and subdued. When he was taken, there was half of a bear carcass found laying beside him that he had just killed. Wow, that's interesting. A bear and a Bigfoot going at it. This is some Native American, more Native American material, and a little bit about bears that I found. Legend of the Sasquatch being a killer of bears is traceable as far back as 230 years ago in the London Times news clipping that I just read for you. It was interesting to note that the wild man was apparently easily apprehended by the local Indians. And here we are more than 2 centuries later, we not only cannot capture one, but field men cannot produce a respectable photograph. Yet there is a clear sketch of a hairy man being pursued by dogs a full 460 years ago in Queen Mary's Book of Psalms. That was on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Great Britain is not currently considered a land where Sasquatch lives, but their queen had knowledge of the hairy men. So this next one, in this next story here, it says, a grizzly bear came to its end because there was another Sasquatch nearby. This gentleman's name was Bill Lee, and he was the voice of radio for 34 years and contributed to a most unusual secondhand story that a friend of his in Idaho related to him. The story involved an all-out fight between an attacking grizzly bear and a female Sasquatch that occurred on the Kamchatka Peninsula in the late 1980s. Lee made a point of reminding me that the location of this report was very near the Sakhalin Islands, where the Soviets shot down a Korean 747 civilian airliner in September of 1983. Remember that one? The peninsula looms low between the Sea of Okhotsk and the Bering Sea. It is a desolate bit of real estate. But Lee's friend Frank, he was on a trophy bear hunt with some guides, and the guides knew there were Bigfoot in the area, but regularly hunted the bears in that region. One of the guys told Frank a tale about a big battle that had occurred between a female Bigfoot and a grizzly. Now, the big old grizzly or brown bear apparently charged or somehow attacked the female Bigfoot, and a male Bigfoot came to her aid. Frank said there was a confrontation, and it was about the size of an acre of land that this confrontation took place on. And he says that it looked like 2 bulldozers had gone at it. Wow, can you imagine an acre of land with brush just flattened all over the place? God bless. The trackers refused to track the Bigfoot, but they did track down the grizzly. It was harvested. In the course of tracking the bear down on snowmobiles, the men wandered away from their snowmobiles, and upon returning, they found a snow machine that had been thrown down an embankment. And Lee said it didn't get there by itself. And the hunter's guide, he had skinned hundreds of bears in his time. And he was surprised to see such large teeth marks in the back of the bear hide once it was skinned. They deduced that the male Bigfoot jumped the bear from behind and bit into its back in defense of the female Bigfoot. Wow, that was 2011. That was Bill Lee writing there. And then this is a hunter's opinion on vanishing Bigfoots and disappearing Bigfoots and how they manage to be sort of supernatural at times. And remember, this is just this gentleman's opinion. It is by no means the Skookum Report's opinion, or I have no idea where. I'm open-minded to all theories and ideas. I tend to take a look at something before I make a judgment on it. But this gentleman says, disappearing Bigfoot? I don't think so. I was an avid hunter and trapper for over 30 years, and I have seen some critters do amazing things. Once I was working on a 20,000-acre ranch, and while I was putting out salt and mineral to about 300 cows in an 1,800-acre pasture, I thought I heard some shots, and I figured somebody was trespassing on this large acreage, and so I got out my field glasses and I climbed up on a ridge overlooking a long valley. After some searching, I had seen one of the largest white-tailed deer I had ever seen trotting down in this valley, with 4 hunters several thousand yards behind this deer walking towards it. Now, as I watched, this deer went and laid down in some plum brush, and the hunters walked right past it, one within 20 yards. After the hunters passed the deer got up and slowly walked the other way and out of sight. Now, if I had not seen this with my own eyes, I would not believe a deer was that smart. I have had many varmints I was after just disappear right in front of my eyes. But almost every time, if I would go back to where I lost it and there was fresh snow that I could track them in, I found out that they had just outsmarted me. When I read all these UFO disappearing acts, I don't believe these people know how fast an animal, especially one as smart as we think Bigfoot is, can disappear. Now, I'm not putting anyone down for their extraterrestrial sightings or beliefs. I have never had an experience myself, but I'm very open-minded to those type of things. I just don't believe Bigfoot has anything to do with those type of happenings. I hope everybody keeps up the good work and reports any kind of sightings that they have. And that gentleman, that's quite a story, how that deer laid down in the brush, waited for the hunters to walk past, and then got up and went the other way. That's incredible to me. That is really incredible. If you or somebody you know has had a sighting or an encounter with a Bigfoot and you'd like to share it on the channel, just write it down and put it in an email. Shoot it off to me at skookumreport@gmail.com. That's skookumreport@gmail.com. I'll be sure to get it up on the channel for you. It's no problem at all. And remember, this is a safe place to share. Nobody's going to ridicule you for what you have seen and the events that have happened and that have obviously shook some of you up. And it's hard to talk about it. You know, a lot of you haven't talked to anybody about it. But you can share it here and get it off your chest, and also meet like-minded people that you can talk to in the comment section and share your story with and hear their story and be a helper to one another and trying to figure this whole thing out and moving on from the experience and just believing in something that maybe you thought all your life had never existed. So, yeah, it definitely, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment, and talk to each other, and, you know, help each other out. That's what I would love to see, and there's a couple people that already have, and I thought that was awesome. And, well, that's it for today on the Skookum Report. Listen, I appreciate you all very much, and I just want to thank you for the views are getting more and more, and I guess people are digging some of the stories and stuff, so I really appreciate it. I'm a story encounter guy myself. I don't get into the investigation of or the you know, taking a part of evidence and just looking at little teeny things and I'm not an investigator. I'm just a guy that loves Bigfoot and loves to hear the stories and the good old-fashioned camp stories and the nostalgia of it involved. I love that stuff, and I've always been interested in the paranormal, and I love Sasquatch. So, all right, you guys, I'll see you next time on the Skookum Report. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get some more up for you. And thank you so much again for coming by. God bless you all. Take care. Bye.